How to tell if the girl you work with is gay. Hi guys, so today I have a comment from a viewer who wants to know if the girl they work with is also gay. So let's get straight into their comment and see how we can help them. If you would also like to help this person, then leave a comment below and see what information we can give that can help her find out if this girl is also gay. So it goes like this. Hi, I work with this girl who is a PE teacher, but she is really femme. She used to have a boyfriend when she was at university, but single at the minute. I sometimes get the feeling she is secretly into girls, but I'm a little confused. She does sometimes hold a long eye contact with me when we speak, which makes me think, yes, she might be into girls. But there's times I see her with other colleagues and is posh and femme. And I can't tell any longer if she is into girls. Can you help me out in this situation, please? Well, the first thing that I want to sort of say is that it can be difficult to tell with just eye contact alone if a girl is a lesbian. Although having long eye contact can be a sign of attraction or at least of interest. So no matter what, if she holds long eye contact with you, it at least lets you know that she's interested in what you have to say and is interested in you at least as a person. Because you know what it's like when you're talking with someone who's like disinterested in you. You know, they look away, they look at their phone, they do other stuff, you know, all that kind of thing. So at least she is interested in you as a person. Now you also state that she's a PE teacher. Now of course there's a huge trope in the UK about PE teachers, female PE teachers being lesbians. And honestly, it's something that is a real thing. Like when I went to school, a lot of the PE teachers that were female were lesbian. Now, not all of them, but there were a lot of them that were lesbian. And I think one of the reasons why this is because usually lesbians like sports. And of course, if they can get a career in sports in some way, they're obviously going to take it. So it's not surprising that a lot of female PE teachers are lesbians. So that's a good indicator at first, you know, there's a high chance she could be a lesbian just for the fact that she's a PE teacher. Now, I hate to be like that. I hate to like generalize and put people into groups, but it's a thing that happens. Like when I went to school, a lot of the teachers were lesbians if they were working in PE. But anyway, so there's a good chance just there. You also mention a lot that she's femme. So obviously, as you know, you don't have, just because you're femme doesn't mean that you're not a lesbian. She could just be a very feminine lesbian or bisexual, because you did say that she dated a guy at university. Now, at that point, you know, she could have just been experimenting or didn't know who she was, so she could be just a lesbian. But there's a high chance if she's been in a relationship with a guy that she's bisexual. But of course, that isn't always the case. Now, an interesting thing that I want to point out is that you say that when she's talking to other colleagues, she is posh and femme. So does that mean she acts differently when she's around you? Because if she acts differently when she's around you, that makes you unique to her in some way. Now, of course, the contrary to that is obviously that people sort of adapt to their surroundings and adapt to the people that they're talking to. So she might be just matching and mirroring you or acting a little bit differently because she thinks that will be most acceptable for you, kind of thing. But it's a good sign that she's acting differently in front of you, because that makes you unique in her eyes for whatever reason. However, a thing that I kind of want to sort of get into is that if she's your work colleague, so I assume that you must also be in the education industry, either you're a teacher or maybe a teacher's assistant, or you're in the teaching somewhere, you're at a school kind of thing, in a school environment or something like that, I assume. So I want to bring up the pitfalls and, you know, the potential problematic things that might happen if you are dating someone who is in your workplace. Now, of course, you could date and at some point develop a relationship, perhaps if she is a lesbian or if she is into girls. But you need to know that that comes at a risk, as in like the risk of your jobs if something was to go sour. So just keep that in mind as a warning. But if you really like this girl, then odds are that won't be too much of a problem for you. Because everyone, I think, would probably go for love rather than job security, in my opinion. because there's something, you know, I know jobs aren't that easy to come by, but because the education industry needs more people coming into it, it's highly likely that if something did go wrong and you had to leave your job, you would probably still find a job somewhere else because schools need teachers and staff. So there's pros and cons to sort of like both situations, but it has to be something that you're aware of. And I'm sure that you are aware of them, but I just thought I'd bring it up just in case when people search for this video, they're also in that situation and they perhaps maybe have not, you know, took that into account yet. So to answer your question on how to tell if she's into girls, I mean, if you are relatively friendly with her, then if you haven't already, perhaps bring up the fact that you're into girls and then see how she responds to that. Because sometimes, I know when I was at like uni and doing my A-levels, or when I'm just interacting with people when I used to be in like a sort of a work environment with other people, if someone said in that environment that they were gay, I was like, oh, me too, kind of thing. As in like, you know, it's like it builds a sort of connection with people when you find out that other people are gay as well. So it's like you form this kind of like bond. And usually when someone comes out, the other person might come out as well. It's like one of those weird things that just happens. So if you haven't already, just put it forward that you are gay. You know, try and bring it up in a conversation, you know. Like you could ask her how, you know, who she's dating, and hopefully if you ask her about that, she will then ask you, and then you can, you know, just slip it in saying like, oh, I've been seeing this girl, or I've been on Tinder looking for this kind of woman, or, you know, whatever it is. So try and slip it into a conversation and see how she responds and see if she also admits to being gay. Now, because I coach people on dating and I mentor people on like pickup and relationships and all that kind of stuff, I try and get the people that are really worried about rejection to actually start asking girls out. So if you're brave enough, perhaps just ask her out and just see how she responds, you know. And usually how I would go about it would be to start with a compliment like, I think you're really gorgeous, like, but make sure it's an authentic compliment. Like if you really, really, really like her hair and you think her hair is really beautiful, or you think her eyes are really beautiful, then bring that up, say like, oh, I think you've got the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. Or I think you've just got such an amazing hair. It's so, so pretty and looks so soft. I think you're gorgeous. Are you free on Saturday for a coffee or something? You know, just bring something up like that. Now, if you're someone out there that is really, really terrified of rejection, my exercise for you is to ask, let's say like 20 girls out on a date, because once you start getting rejected more, it's not as difficult, right? So another thing that I've sort of taught people to try and do, which I laid out in one of my 3-part series about how to talk to girls, is I tell people that if you're really worried about talking to people and you've got really bad social anxiety, then go out into the world and start talking to people. Go to shopping centres, go to supermarkets, go and ask people's opinions on things. Just go out there and start talking to strangers so you become better at talking to people. And if you are feared of being rejected by women, then ask loads of girls out so you become desensitized to the rejection. I also like the idea of just getting things over and done with. So when in the past, when I've had crushes on people, then I've tried to do something about it almost immediately, like asking them out or trying to find out more information about them if they're gay or not. You know, when that stuff has happened, I try and, you know, try my best to like start pushing for going out on a date with them, because I don't like the long drawn out, you know, feelings that sometimes builds up if you don't sort of tackle those problems or, you know, those attraction issues just like straight away. So try and give that a go. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell just with eye contact if a girl is a lesbian, but there's a chance. There is a chance. So I would just put yourself out there, see if you can get some more information about her. If you're too scared of rejection, you know, just try and, you know, I guess test the waters a little bit. Just put out the fact that you're gay and you're interested in women, or you're bisexual as well, or something, whatever it is, and then see what happens. But if you're more like me, you just like to get things over and done with and you don't like long drawn out crushes, then try to do something a bit quicker by asking her out or something like that. Anyway, I hope this has helped you. If anyone else has advice for this person, then please leave it in the comments below. If you would like help with me personally and you would like coaching or mentoring, then please head over to www.christineloveridge.com/shop and pick which package suits you. And I shall talk to you again very soon. Bye guys.